So today I want to have a little bit of a chat about failure and how we actually approach failure from a mindset perspective, and in particular how we act when we come up against failure, because this is such a huge determinant in your success, specifically in a business sense, because basically you are going to need to fail a lot of times to really work out what does work. And in today's video, I wanted to basically share a couple of stories about my own failures in the past and how they have kind of evolved to become wins over time. Often you will learn something as a result of those experiences that push you in the right direction going forward as well. But before we do, I just wanted to remind you to hit subscribe on the Herbal Entrepreneur channel and like on this video so that more people can see the video and other videos that we have for herbalists like yourself. First of all, I wanted to share a failure from several years ago now and how it has kind of evolved into what I'm currently doing as well. So this was 4 years before I launched the first Herbal Entrepreneur Conference. I did a pretty similar thing. It was a week-long event like the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference with live sessions each day, and it was I'd put in so much effort into putting the program together and getting it out there, but it just didn't all click exactly. It was a huge commitment of mine because I'd spent so much time doing it, and I also had the support of my family and my husband, for example. I specifically remember he offered to cook all of the meals for that whole week so that I could concentrate on doing this event, and I really did put all of this time and effort into it. But at the end of the week, it just didn't kind of take off, and in the end I made one sale. Of one person bought the program, and that was it. And by all accounts it really was a failure. It wasn't worth the time and effort of putting in that I made to do that program. But the key here is that I didn't give up, and I decided to keep on going. And because of that, over time, I learned from that experience. I got a bit of an idea, but it took me 4 years, honestly, 4 years of time from 2015 to 2019 before it actually clicked and I was able to create something that was truly valuable for other people, that they were willing to pay for and become part of the community. And so just persistence and often time, patience is what is really needed. And this was made more aware to me recently because my husband and I have just taken over the management of a refuge in the mountains, which is where we are now. But there have been some huge learning processes in this whole endeavor, and it's been interesting because I have built up this strong entrepreneurial mindset over the 7 or so years that I would consider myself an entrepreneur. And I would also say on the other side, my husband doesn't have that mindset yet. And it's been really interesting watching the way he processes the setbacks along the way, and just every little thing, thinking of it as wanting to give up rather than wanting to overcome and treat it as a learning experience and go to the next level. And it's something that just does not happen straight away. You need patience to do it, and that is just so important, that just treating it as a learning experience. I also wanted to share a story that happened recently at the refuge that we're running in the mountains about a herbal event that I plan to run. So what it was called the Pranzo di Primavera, which that's the Italian name, obviously. In English, that just means the springtime lunch. And I put together this menu of all these different herbs that I wanted to include for this lunch. So we had wild green butter and pestos, and having stinging nettle pasta with zucchini flower sauce and asparagus, little mini quiches, all of these little courses that were really inspired by the herbs that are growing in this area and basically what I love to cook. I really liked the idea and was excited to get it out there. And so I spent a lot of time promoting it on Instagram and trying to make sure as many people as possible heard about it. But the kind of failure happened in that we got to the time and only 2 people had booked for this Pranzo di Primavera. And so it was a little bit disappointing from my perspective, because I was yes, this is an awesome idea. But obviously other people weren't quite as excited about it as I was, or possibly there was a disconnect in the way that we marketed the Pranzo di Primavera. I also have some instincts that the pricing may have been a little bit high for the locals of this area, but that's really about communicating the value as well, because I don't actually want to lower the price, so it's how can I communicate that value. But anyway, it was disappointing that with 2 people, and I got to this decision. I could cancel the whole thing, not worry about it, and just chalk it up as a loss and move on, or I could do the dinner anyway for these 2 people who signed up. And I went for the second option for a couple of reasons. One, because of I wanted to do it anyway, and it's just like cooking for friends. And 2, because I wanted to finish the experience. I'd marketed it. I wanted to, actually do it, deliver it, take photos, and learn from the experience. So that is really what I did. We went ahead and did the Pranzo di Primavera for this couple who had booked. And then this interesting cascade of events happened as a result of that action. So basically, those 2 people loved it. And they started to talk about it to their friends. And a few days later, we got a call from someone else in the area saying, we'd heard about this Pranzo of Primavera with the locally inspired herbs that you ran. Would you mind doing a similar menu for us next Saturday night? And I thought, okay, why not? we can do this. And so they booked in for 3 people on the next Saturday night. And I'd planned just to do a similar thing again for 3 people instead of 2 this time. But it just so happened that next Saturday night, the hotel side of the refuge was fully booked out. So all 7 rooms were booked out that night. And so we decided to extend the invitation to the people who were already at the refuge, and we said, tonight we have a special event going on, the Pranzo di Primavera, the cost is this much, would you like to be involved as well? And every single person that we offered this opportunity to said yes. And so we ended up with 18 people, so almost 20, 18 people that were there for that night. And it was similar to my original vision for the event, and it was just incredible. So I was able to, bring out the each of the courses and explain what they were, do the kind of mini teaching, but in a way that people actually remember about the herbs, because of it's in a practical kind of seeing way, and then eating it and tasting it. And it was just fun for me to explain, but you could also see that they really enjoy the experience as well. And then the night just went really well, and in the days since this event as well, we've got several reviews specifically because of this dinner that people were excited about. So this was just it was a little bit different to the normal cuisine in this area, and people were interested in that. And they also just did really enjoy the energy and the teaching side, or the experience of the whole dinner as well. So it wasn't just a meal, but it was a whole experience of the Pranzo di Primavera. And all of this wouldn't have happened, all of these good reviews, the good experience, the word of mouth, none of it would have happened if we just chucked it up as a failure and didn't go ahead with it. But because we did actually follow through, do the experience, even for 2 people, and we also made a few tweaks so that it was more practical for doing it for 18 people as well, based on that practice initial run for 2 people. And so you can just see how step by step you can really improve the way things are going by adjusting what you do based on the failures that you have. And so that really is the message that I would like you to take away from this video, is that like failures are not a bad thing. They are truly a good thing, and what like shapes your journey as an entrepreneur. And I'm sure you've heard this advice before, but like really seeing it in practice and just realizing that it takes time and it takes doing things wrong to get to where you want to be. And like that also gives you a certain level of freedom, because it is okay to fail. It is okay to put like a new product line out there and it to be a complete flop. Go out there and do something, because when you actually do something, that is when you will figure out what works, and it will bring you to the place that you want to get to eventually. So it's just that continuous journey. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure you do hit like on this video and subscribe to the Herbal Entrepreneur channel so that you'll see more videos when they're released. I can't wait to hear about what you do or any failures that you've had in the past as well. Let me know in the comments, and I would love to know about those learning experiences that you've had.